Now, settle down, boys and
Can
girls.
I get it?
Okay, we're
Amen.
going to talk with Christina. Hello, Christina. Hello.
Hello.
Hi there. You're on the air.
Hi.
What's going on with you?
I had a question, doctor.
Yes.
I'm dating a relatively large black man.
A relatively large? Does that mean he's tall like a basketball player or hung like a horse?
Both.
Oh, wow. Big boy. Okay.
And I was wondering, he likes oral sex and everything.
Oh,
And I was wondering how
your poor mouth.
Huh?
You must be having lockjaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, I've had boyfriends before, and I've performed oral sex on them.
Uh-huh.
But they haven't been as hung
big.
as him.
Yes.
And I was
He's
wondering
a big boy. How big is he?
He's about 12 and a half.
12 and a half.
Yeah.
My goodness. Do I have a 12 and a half? I think my sword is down here. This sword that I have here, if you're watching me on television, is 12.
Uh-huh.
I have a sword that is 12 inches, so and a half would be below the hip. Are you sure he's 12 and a half? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Bless you, my child.
And I was wondering how I could please him orally, since he's so huge.
Well, you're going to have to use more than your mouth, sister.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you got a mouth that's 12 inches long,
No.
let alone the half. Right? And you can deep throat, but that doesn't mean it goes all the way down your throat.
Right.
So you got to use your hands. You got to play him like an instrument.
Uh-huh.
You know. See, Donnie is now attempting to deep throat the 12-incher. She can only get about 3 inches in. Now, of course, this is not real. This is not real.
Right.
So when it's real, usually you can get more in. A dildo is harder to ingest.
Right.
Still, she's only getting about 4 inches in, and she's suffering. The tears are streaming down her face.
Uh-huh.
You're going to have to use your hands. Probably on a gentleman like that, 2 hands.
Okay.
And lubricate your hands, either with your saliva, lots of saliva,
Uh-huh.
or, you can also use lubricants of different sorts and really try to get into the feeling that your hands and your mouth are all working together, that your hands are part of your mouth.
Right.
And, I think you'll create an incredibly sensuous experience.
How far you can get it. Whoa!
Well, I got in a little farther than you,
You're a lot far.
And I had another question, doctor.
but I suffered. And I don't want you to suffer,
Uh-huh.
Christina. That's why you got to use your hands.
I have another quick question.
What's that other question?
I fantasized about being with him and his friends,
Yes.
and I was wondering, is that just normal, or is that, I don't know. I've never done that before, but it's something I've always wanted to try.
Okay.
And I was wondering if
Well, without recommending it yet, I will say it is normal to be fantasizing that. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
His friend is another basketball player, is that right?
yeah, we all go to school together.
Ah, okay.
Not pro basketball players?
Is Donnie's mic on, by the way? I can't hear her. No. Okay. You can have their mics on. They're not being punished yet. Okay. Or because they're talking and then I can't hear them. So she asked. What did you ask?
Are they pro basketball players?
No, they're in high school.
College basketball.
College. Excuse me, college.
Are they going to make it pro? One of them?
One of them got drafted this week.
Go for the one that got drafted.
Which one? The boyfriend or the boyfriend's friend?
My boyfriend.
She said friends. I believe she said friends plural, not
Friends?
friends.
More than
Friends.
one friend. This whole
Yeah.
team you're interested in here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to
Not
be
the whole team, but
you want to be the basket for
Their balls. For their balls.
yeah, really. Wow, girl. Well, this is quite a
Do you have the
a game to take on. I don't know.
Right.
I think you better practice on him first. Really,
Right.
being able to handle all that he's got.
Okay.
Okay, but it's exciting. What does he think of your fantasy? Does he know
I
about it?
haven't told him yet.
You think he'd be jealous, or you think he'd be turned on, or you think he'd be both?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Sounds like maybe this is one of those
Well, you should
fantasies to
definitely
keep to
tell him.
yourself. No, not definitely.
You don't think you should tell him?
No, fantasizing about friends is not a definite. It's only if you're into, multiple partners.
Right.
Most people get jealous over that. You say,
Should she
I'm
share
turned on to your best friend. That
Should she share her fantasy with her lover?
Not necessarily. Sometimes if it's a non-threatening fantasy, all the time. You know, like say she fantasizes about doing it on the floor of the basketball stadium.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing is not threatening. Having sex with your best friend.
If he's going to punch you, don't tell him the fantasy, okay?
Okay.
Right. Some people get
prudent
jealous.
advice.
Only someone who's very, very tolerant
Well, let me ask you a-
and
let me
open-minded such as yourself,
Let me ask you
Roy,
a
can
question,
handle
though.
with that.
But if your lover will get jealous over your fantasy, should he be your lover?
Maybe. Some people are meant to be monogamous and really, and yet the fantasy of having sex with a lot of different people is very common, even among people who are who want to be monogamous in terms of their actions. So it's not always something to share, Roy,
But it's a fantasy.
when it's a fantasy. Yeah.
It is a fantasy.
It is. It's
She's
a common
talking about a fantasy.
Right. But like I said, sometimes people get insanely jealous
Right.
when you say that you are fantasizing about your brother, your teammate,
team.
your boss, you know, someone close to you, even
Right.
just someone else. People with shaky self-esteem, and he sounds like he's strong like a bull in many areas, but you know, he's young, and I'm sure his self-esteem is.
Christine, do you
shaky.
want to tell him?
I don't know. See, that's like the thing. I'm not really sure if I should. I'm just thinking maybe it's just a fantasy, and you know, maybe it's just like a thing that'll go away. I don't know.
It may or may not go away, but you have, you know, if you don't feel comfortable sharing it just because Roy wants you to, doesn't mean you should.
Under no
So,
obligation.
Susie, Dr. Susie,
Yes,
you don't
Donnie.
recommend a menage a trois.
I didn't say that, Donnie. I recommend a menage a trois when everybody wants one.
It's the only
How do you
French
find
word
out?
I know.
But how
That's
do you
good.
know?
How do you know?
without letting
But how do you
people
know if it should be a...
Je ne sais quoi, you know, menage a trois. There's something you have to feel, but sometimes
slipping
it
in
is very.
conversation.
It is. You don't have to do this.
don't have to do
Only if you feel as though this is the kind of life you want to lead. If she knows deep in her heart that she does not want to be monogamous, that she really wants to have multiple relationships and multiple partners, then of course it is something she must share. But if it's only a fantasy, hey, she doesn't need to share it. There are some fantasies that we keep
Right.
in our
Did you
hearts.
ask her if it's really just a fantasy or does
I
she
don't think
want
we've
it to
asked
become a reality?
Why are you asking me that? You could ask her. But she did tell me. She sounds like she's reluctant to even tell him. She sounds like she's just wanting to know if it's normal
Would you
for
actually
her
like
to
to do it?
fantasize about the other guys. Do you want to? This is a fantasy, and you
Right.
sound reluctant to tell the boyfriend, right?
Right.
Okay. Does that mean you're gonna do it anyway? Cheating
Yeah,
on him?
What?
Are you gonna cheat on him?
I don't want to. Like, I wouldn't want to hurt him in any way.
Good. But maybe you won't be able to control yourself? Is that the implication
Well,
of
I've
what you
been
just
getting,
said?
Like, well, the other players on the team have been just offering.
They've been offering. Oh, well, they know if you can handle Big Dicky over there, you might be able to handle them.
Well, they've been showing more than a little, you know.
I can't even hold it.
Yeah, well,
What have they been doing?
what have they been showing?
What has he been
Well,
saying?
I'm a cheerleader for college here, so
Ah, you're the cheerleader. No wonder. They're trying to get under your
is
little
my
skirt,
fantasy.
You're the
huh?
head cheerleader?
Roy wants to do it with you too now, so you've got a lot of offers.
Are you the head cheerleader?
yeah, I'm the head cheerleader.
Oh, that is
Oh my, she's
great.
the head cheerleader.
The head cheerleader.
But she had to talk to me about how to give it to her boyfriend. All right,
Why
Donnie.
doesn't she come down with
Donnie's the head cheerleader here at the
Dr.
villa.
Susan, why
Yes.
doesn't she come down to the villa with her pom-poms?
Oh, now
I've got another
That's
invitation.
the magic man
Christina.
with the
Larry
big
is
dick.
joining the team.
All right, so
He's got a big
all right,
dick.
so you can do that. You can come down to the villa. We're going to put you on hold. You got to bring your pom poms, okay? Oh, ho, ho, ho. And so hold on, don't go away. We're going to go to the next call.
We have to go to the next call, but before
Don't
we
go
do,
away.
we want to don't do anything rash, cheerleader
Irrational.
Christina.
Irrational.
Thank you, Christine, for calling.
Congrats.
Thanks,
Hold
Keith,
on.
and hold
Let
on.
us know when it gets heavy with one of the other guys. All right. Jeez.
Maybe she could bring down some of the other girls, and then it would be like a.
I have too many cooks
reverse.
in this pot here, and everyone has an agenda. I am just trying to help Christina. These guys want the cheerleader to come down. They want to have her practice
Not those guys.
on their basketballs.
No.